Let's look at the exercise in adding monomials. So here we're going to add these two monomials into the original expression if it cannot be simplified. So here we're going to add negative 25 a to the 7th plus a negative 26 a to the 7th plus a negative 25 a to the 7th. Well, they're like terms. They both have a to the 7, a to the 7. So I'm going to add here the coefficients. Negative 26 plus negative 25 is negative 51. So this is negative 51. Keep the same, the common variable expression, a to the 7th. We say we're done. Correct. We move to the next one. Add these two. They both have b to the 2nd, so they are like terms, so I can combine them. I combine by adding two negatives. Negative 25 plus a negative 4 is the same as saying 25 plus 4, and you keep the common sign, which they're both negative. So 25 plus 4 is 29. They're both negatives. So we say negative 29. And then times b to the 2nd power. And they all work in that fashion. Now this is negative 7 plus 5. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. Negative 7. Look, how do you do that? You take, if they're two numbers with different signs, you subtract. We get 2. The biggest number, you take its sign and you affix to that result. So 7 is bigger than 5, even though negative 7 is smaller than positive 5, but the biggest number in terms of the absolute value, its measurement is length. 7 is longer than 5. So anyway, if they have different signs, subtract. So we subtract 5 from 7, we get 2. But since 7 is longer than 5, we put the negative to the answer. So that's negative 2. They are like terms, x to the 6, x to the 6. So that just follows x to the 6. Let's look at the next one. Here, x to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, they're like terms. Negative 4 and 24, if they have different signs, subtract. The biggest absolute value, you take its answer, or its sign, excuse me, and you affix to the answer. So here, I subtract 4 from 24, I get 20. It is 20, it's not negative 20 because 24 is bigger than 4, and 24 is positive. Times the common variable expression, x to the 3rd. Again, the same thing. Here, this is z to the 2nd, z to the 2nd. They're like terms. We take 3 from 22. That's all you're doing. You're taking 3 from 22. And that gives you 19 times z to the 2nd. These two monomials are like terms because they both have u to the 5th power. So we just add 2 plus 11. That gives us 13 times the common expression u to the 5th power. Take the next one. This is w to the 3rd, w to the 3rd. They're like terms. So now it's negative 20 plus 11. They have different signs, so we subtract. So I subtract here 11 from 20. That gives me here a 9. But 20 is bigger than 11, and 20's sign is negative, so I put negative 9. See that? See that 20 is bigger than 11, but 20 was negative. So negative 20, obviously negative 20 is smaller than positive 11 because negative is to the left of 0. But I'm talking about the absolute value, the length of the number. The length of negative 20 is positive 20. I measure it. Even though it's going downstairs, if I measure that, it's still the length of 20, just in the opposite direction. So if I have numbers with different signs, I subtract and then I'll fix the sign of the larger absolute value number to the result. So then this is times the common variable expression, w to the third, w to the fifth and w to the fifth are like terms. This is 22 minus 3. Right. So that's just 19 w to the fifth. Now z to the sixth and u are unlike, so I just rewrite what we have. I cannot add unlike terms. If you're upstairs like that, to get out, you have to hit that exponent term again. So this, well, that didn't work. What about the space? Does it work? Plus, that doesn't work either. Okay, it doesn't like that. So I'm just going to put z, raise that to the 6th power, hit that function again. It's supposed to bring it downstairs. Say plus. It's not recognizing what I'm trying to do there. I think I got it. Plus, there it is. Oh, boy. Plus this negative 23u. I'm going to have to do another problem, make sure I get that. Yeah, I don't like that. Unlike terms, you just leave it the way it is. Here it says that enter the original expression if it cannot be simplified. Again, unlike terms. Let's give me some practice on this. So 13x to the 8. So I hit the space bar. That's weird. It didn't take that, but let's see if it. Supposed to hit the space bar. It's supposed to move over, but for this Plato it's not recognizing that. 18 times x. They're unlike terms. Okay, so we're finished with that. So hopefully you can master that section.